Hey guys, welcome here on Rock Castle, beautiful Moravský Krumlov on this little castle as you can see. And I have here Gus G from Firewind, Ozzym Osbournem, many people. So, hey man, what are your feelings? Tell me.
My feelings.
After the concert, because I'm talking to you before the show.
Yeah,
so
we're just. I'm just hi there. No, yeah. I mean, we just got off stage. I'm still kind of sweating, as you can see. So it's a good feeling. Good vibe from the people.
How was the crowd, man?
Great.
Are they crazy?
It's always great here in Czech Republic. I mean, we've played this festival before, and many other festivals in Czech Republic, and it's always good. Always a good time. People are always responsive. Always a good energy. So.
And do you know
today
why?
Was the same.
We have the best energy.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know
man.
why?
It was. Why?
Well, because we have best beer. Are you drinking beer?
Because of the beer, yeah. Actually, I'm not a beer drinker, but
Oh.
of course I appreciate good beer, and Czech beer is top.
Oh yeah. So you rather prefer wine, red or white?
Yeah, I'm more like a red wine kind of guy.
Okay. Cool. I would like to ask you, what do you feel like when you go before the stage, before you hit it? Are you feeling nervous? Do you have some routine, like summoning the devil? Or do you need to warm up?
Yeah, I do a warm-up thing for at least 20 minutes, you know,
Oh,
just yeah, stretching a little bit and playing my scales and stuff like that, just to get in the zone, basically. And you know, the preparation, you know, I'm always a little bit nervous because I want to make sure that all the gear is intact and it's working. Even if you have your technicians to check it out, I'm still, you know, when the intro rolls, I'm always thinking, oh, fuck, I hope everything works. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting in the zone, and you know, I'm getting that kind of a little bit of a nice type of anxiety to run, you know, that kind of like adrenaline rush. So yeah, I just run to the stage and I.
So can you feel your heartbeat?
Yeah. It's a good feeling. I live for that stuff.
And is it set up like for the first song that your heartbeat is like 119 or
a little bit. Yeah. It's good.
But you must do the coke before the show. I can't imagine that 190 BPM to have. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to describe, really. I mean, you have to do it to understand what I'm talking about. It's like a nice adrenaline. It's like a little bit of it's a nervous feeling, but it's in a nice way. You know, it doesn't. For me, I have stage fright, but not to the point where I don't go on stage.
Yeah.
I want to go on stage, but
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's maybe how we can see how professionals are made, because then maybe because of it you have this incredible work. So maybe that's how to do it.
I don't know. Yeah. Everybody have their own thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so and do you need to do rehearsals with your band before the stage, or isn't it so?
Not really. I mean, we usually rehearse before, like we set out to go on a world tour.
Yes.
So we rehearse once, all the songs, and then we kind of get in a routine. So now this is like a fly show. We just flew in. We already know the set list, so we just play it. I mean, everybody practices their stuff at home before.
I understand. Okay, cool. Thank you for answering. And let's talk about your latest album, self-titled Firewind. Tell me, how it goes? Everything went according to plan?
No, because there was a thing called pandemic, COVID. Yeah.
Oh.
So we didn't really get to promote it when it came out. But I think that happened to everybody in the world. So, but you know, it came out in April or May 2020, and all our world tour plans were canceled, and we just stayed at home for a couple of years. And we just started touring recently, like last spring. We went on tour in America, and we did some shows in Spain and some festivals. So, you know, just basically catching up, just like everybody else, basically, you know. It's no different for us than it was for other bands, so I think it's what everybody had to go through.
I understand. Well, and how did you spend your time during pandemic? Like, were you writing new stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, the first year I made another album. It was a solo record. I made an instrumental solo record because I just felt inspired. I was just at home, and I kind of enjoyed that all my plans were canceled. I think a lot of people were enjoying the downtime at home, because nobody ever has any free time, basically. Everybody's always working, always traveling. So I enjoyed the first year. You know, I made a record, and the second year I started getting bored.
I understand, it was too long.
Yeah, that's when it was like, okay, now it's time to do something. I'm always collecting ideas, though. You know, I don't write all the time, but I write ideas every now and then, and I put them in a folder of unused riffs, and I always return and I work on them.
So I guess it must be a really big folder right now.
Yeah, not that huge, but there's ideas for sure. There's enough ideas for at least another album, but it doesn't mean that all of them will be used. Yeah.
Okay, well, what I saw and what's really interesting for me as a guitar player and for many fans, I guess, well, you visited Jasonem Beckerem.
I
Man,
did.
tell me about it. If you want to, tell me how it goes, how it was for you. Tell me.
Sure. I've known Jason since 2013. That's when I first met him. I participated in a tribute concert that we did, a benefit concert called Not Dead Yet. It was in San Francisco. And since then, I've kept in touch with him, with his family, and regularly, whenever I'm in town, I will go and see him. And you know, he's a legend, and he's one of my personal guitar heroes. So it's incredible that, you know, I got close to him and his family. And yeah, like I said, on this tour, we were on tour in America with Dragon Force, and we had a day off. No, we didn't have a day off, but we were playing in Berkeley in California.
Yes.
And we arrived there in the morning, and I just went out there to his house to see him and spend some time, you know, with him and his folks, and got to play some of his guitars.
Yeah, I saw, man.
And
how was it is really big. It is big difference between your guitar and his like most famous guitar with the numbers. It is big difference from yours.
Yeah, he has different setups and stuff. You know, he had more slimmer necks and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And, but his guitars feel great. They play great. And he even let me borrow his jacket that he used on a Cacophony album cover.
Yeah.
And I wore it on stage for the last song of our set. I mean, the guy is so sweet, you know, he's the sweetest soul, and such a legend, man. I mean, to this day, I don't think I can play his shit. So, but yeah, I'm glad he's doing well. I'm glad he's feeling strong, and you know, he put out an album a couple of years ago with the help of many friends and other musicians.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. No, it's always.
Inspiring?
It's always he's an inspiration not only to musicians but to the whole humanity. I think people like him.
Oh, that's true. Well, because of his illness, what he can still do with it, it's total inspiration.
It's incredible
for everybody.
the power of his soul and the power, the will that you know, to carry on and live and still be creative, and it's just incredible. And it was crazy, you know, when I was in his house this time, his father explained to me a little bit how his eye system works, communication. I tried a little bit to learn, and he did a couple of movements, and I tried to figure out just like a simple word, like a hi or a yes or something. Yeah, it's cool, and he's such a funny guy, man. He always cracks me up.
So I guess it's not a good time to go to Greece yet.
Yeah.
Dude, you look natural with that jacket on, bro. You should rock that
tonight.
Come out on stage.
Okay, so we just left Jason's house. We had a great time here, and the man actually gave me his jacket from Go Off photo shoot with Cacophony, and I'm gonna wear it tonight at the show in Berkeley, the last stop of the tour, to get some extra Jason Becker mojo. And yeah, it's a dream come true. So nice of Jason's, you know. So thanks Jason.
You changed vocalist, so
Yeah,
tell me,
ago. Yeah.
how did it go? Where do you find these guys like for you? Do you have like some in your mind like, okay, I would like to...
I have a secret list of of a short list of great singers. No, I mean, you know, it's always difficult when a singer leaves a band, because even though I'm the main composer and the main guy, the singer is the voice of the band, and the voice people identify with, the fans, you know. So it's very difficult when you have to get another singer. And you know, honestly, it got to a point where I was thinking of quitting the band, actually, right before that. I went through a period where I'm like, well, we've had too many changes. Maybe it's not worth it to keep doing it anymore. I got tired. But then my record label suggested Herbie Langens, who also sings with Avantasia and other projects. And Herbie brought a new kind of energy to the band. I loved his vocal style from the beginning. It reminded me of the early days of Firewind, which I loved. I wanted to go back to that sound a little bit. You know, not so much keyboards, more like riff-driven band, kind of like more raw style. And Herbie has that kind of vibe. And he was a nice guy, you know. We collaborated, and I decided to give it one more shot. So we did the self-titled album, and it was well received. You know, it was.
Well, it is.
It was well received enough for us to keep on going and doing it.
And now let's go back to the studio. How is it goes the songwriting? Like, it's only your ideas, or?
Well, I write pretty much 90 to 95% of the music.
Lyrics too?
No lyrics, sometimes, very little. I try to avoid that because I'm not so good, but I mean, on the last record I wrote maybe 3 songs, lyrics. The rest was Herbie. But usually I take care of the music and the arrangements, and maybe I have like some ideas for titles or concepts and stuff like that, and I throw that to our producer, Dennis or Herbie, and then they come up with lyrics, and we kind of work together on it. But yeah, like my department is more like music and arrangements and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, I would like to ask you, if you have no problem with it, how was it when you were playing with Ozzy? Do you like still thinking about it, like it was your?
I mean, it was really good times. You know, it was a really highlight of my career. Obviously, you know, playing at such a big level, and of course to play with one of the fathers of this music, heavy metal. So just to be part of that legacy is incredible. It's mind-blowing. Still cannot believe it happened. I learned a lot, you know. I'm not a guy who thinks so much about the past. I think I have evolved since then. I've become a better musician, better person, you know, better performer. That was a big stepping stone for me. I look at those days with, you know, a lot of joy, and I have nice memories, nice feelings, you know, about Ozzy and Sharon and the Osbournes. They treated me very nice. So, and it was some of the best years of my life with them. You know, I got to see and experience things that not many musicians do. So I was lucky in that sense. But you know, I'm doing my thing now, and I've had my own thing for a long time, and it's I'm happy where I'm at in life right now.
When somebody is happy, he's doing incredible things, and that's what you are. So
Yeah.
we can definitely see.
Yeah. Being happy, and I mean that. I think happiness comes from within. You can make yourself happy, you know. So if you do what you love and do the stuff that you like, and the stuff that you have in your head, and you work hard to bring it to life, that's happiness.
Where your idea comes from, like when you're writing a new song, it's like you are like practicing some scales, or it's like you are standing somewhere drinking wine and then it hit you, or how
for me it usually either comes from a practice thing. I'll just pick up the guitar, noodle around, and maybe, oh fuck, what is this? It's a cool riff or something.
Yeah.
I come up with something. It's either that, or it can be sometimes like I just turn on my computer, I start with a blank session, and I just throw in like a drum machine rhythm, and I jam to a drum machine, and I just improvise and I come up with stuff. So, and there's different things, you know. Sometimes I can hear a melody in my head. I could be traveling or doing something, and I'm like, oh shit, this is cool, and then I'll put it down and record real quickly. So
yeah, so it's much more based like still from your feelings than you are.
It is very
like,
spontaneous, yeah.
it is spontaneous.
Very spontaneous from improvisation. I just
Yes.
pick up the guitar and it comes out. Not always good things come out, but sometimes, you know, that little moment of magic is there and you try to capture that.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be really selective work, I guess.
You know, sometimes it can be frustrating too, you know, because you sometimes you pick up the guitar and nothing come out. And you're like, ah, shit, you know, I really wanted to write a great song, but you cannot write a great song every day. But I try, you know, it's, I mean, that's why I love playing guitar so much. You never know the possibility. You pick up the guitar and the possibilities are endless, basically.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's true. Because on guitar you can play many things like
So
many
many
times.
things, man.
One thing you can play like four times different, but
Yeah.
still the same thing.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful on guitar. That's
Yeah.
why I love it too.
It's the best instrument. I love it.
Oh yeah, it is. Better than singing for me. Okay, and what are your future goals right now? Tell me.
Oh.
Good question.
Good
Tricky question.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
I don't know. Good. I mean, I'm a kind of person that takes things day by day. You know, I make some plans, but not too long-term plans. So I hope that I'm in a good shape. I want to keep being in a good shape and healthy, and keep on doing what I'm doing right now, and keep on being creative. Yeah, you know, we all have goals, what we want to achieve in the future and stuff like that, and different levels of you know, success and all those things. But I just want to keep doing things. Are in a good place for me right now, so I just want to keep on doing what I'm doing right now.
So do you have something in your mind, like what is your highest achievement? Which one would you like to achieve? Do you have something like that right now in your mind, or it is just Firewind right now, or you just focusing is only like Firewind, all the touring about it, or do you have something like more?
I'm not so. I mean, I love touring and stuff, and I want to keep doing it. But after the pandemic, a lot of people reconsidered many things, so I have not many expectations, because you never know this kind of world we live in. You don't know what's happening. You know, there was a pandemic. Now there's a war. You know, there's an energy crisis. You know, so you have to think about all these things before you head out to travel to another country. So I don't know. To me, I think about all these things, but you know, music always comes first in my mind, and you know, stuff that is meant to happen at some point, it will happen. You know, in regards to touring. I mean, I would like to make another record in the future, and I want to make the best record possible. I want to, you know, one of my goals is to try to start developing the stage show for the bands, you know, add more stuff to it, more effects, more shit like that. So hopefully, you know, we're gonna work on that in the future.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer clubs or festivals? What is better for you?
Well, they're both different, you know, like clubs, of course it's a smaller thing, but it can be really amazing because you're playing in front of your own crowd and you have time to do a proper sound check and stuff. Festivals is a different feeling, different atmosphere. It's more of like a summer thing and everybody feels, oh, nice, let's get crazy, whatever, let's get drunk. And you know, but at the same time, you don't have much time to perfect your sound. Sometimes they just throw you out there and you just have to play. Depending on the changeover time, and you know,
It's a little bit rushed.
yeah, you have to share the stage with many bands, so it's not perfect for anybody, you know, maybe sometimes not even for the headliner. So, but it's a different vibe, it's a different feeling, you know, playing for, you know, huge crowds and, you know, getting exposed to people that maybe don't know you, so it's a good thing as well. So I like both, I don't care. I mean, I wouldn't say just festivals or just clubs. I'm the kind of guy who's like, if there's a gig, I'll go and play. I don't care.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's how it should be, man. That's how it should be.
Yeah, if you love music, you'll play it. I don't care if it's 10,000 or like 100 people. I don't care. Like as long as somebody there and there's somebody want to hear me play, I'll play.
Okay, Hero Cross, Gus G from Firewind. Beautiful interview. Thank you for it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Enjoy.